Number 11. A polyethylene piece rubbed with the wool is found to have a negative charge of 3 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. Estimate the number of electrons transferred. Now see, we just have to find out the number of electrons, so just we can take the magnitude of the charge, and as you know that Q is equal to Ne. So N can be made as a subject of formula, it becomes Q upon E. The charge which is transferred is given, it is 3 into 10 raised to minus 7 divided by charge of electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. And if you simplify, then you will get the answer. It is 1.875 into 10 to the power positive 12. Okay, positive 12 number of electrons will be transferred. Okay, now the question second is there a transfer of mass from wool to polyethylene? Yes, there will be a transfer of mass, because mass of one electron is known to us. It is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. Okay, therefore mass of all such electrons which are transferred, therefore total mass will be this mass of one electron, that is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31, multiply by the number of electrons transferred. So if you multiply this 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 with a 1.875 into 10 raised to 12, then you will get the total mass which is transferred. So we can say this answer which you are getting is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 18 kg. Okay, this much mass will be transferred from wool to polyethylene. Okay, now we go for the next one. Okay, 12th one. Two insulated charged copper spheres A and B have their centers separated by distance 50 centimeter. What is the mutual force of electrostatic repulsion if the charge each, or we can say charge on each, is 6.5 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb? Radii are given, okay, which are negligible compared to the distance of separation. So first part we calculate, it is easy as said to calculate. Okay, there are two spheres, sphere A and the other one is sphere B. Okay, A and B are the two spheres, and the charge on both the spheres is same, 6.5 10 raised to minus 7, and this charge is a positive charge. So the repulsive force between these two spheres, according to our formula, K QA QB upon R square. Okay, QA and QB both are same, value of K is known to you. You can simplify. Okay, distance between these two is 50 centimeter. Okay, so R we have to take 50 centimeter, so 50 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter we have to take. Okay, so all these values you can place and you can get the answer of force, that is 1.521 into 10 raised to minus 2 Newton. Just you have to substitute the value and you will get the answer. Okay, now the second part, what is the force of repulsion if each sphere is charged double the above amount? So now instead of QA you will write 2QA, instead of QB you can write 2QB, and the distance is made half. Okay, so new force, say F prime, will be equal to K into 2 times QA into 2 times QB. Okay, and the distance is made half, so it becomes R by 2 the whole square. So this becomes, see, 2 2s are 4, and this square of 2, square of this 2 will be in the numerator. Okay, so again 2 2s are 4 and multiply by 4, so it becomes 16 times. 16 times k qa qb upon r square you will get. Okay, so whatever answer that you are getting here, multiply by 16 if you do, then the new force you will get. Okay, so this answer which you got earlier, multiply by, you have to take 16, because 16 times the original force it becomes. Okay, so this answer has to be multiplied by 16 and you will get the final answer. Okay, now again we are moving further. Okay, the question number 13. Okay, suppose the charge sphere, or we can suppose the sphere A and B in the above question which we have discussed earlier, have identical sizes. A third sphere of the same size but uncharged is brought in contact with the first, then brought in contact with the second, and finally removed from both. What is the new force of repulsion between A and B? Now try to understand this sequence which is given to us. You have, say, how many spheres? Earlier we had 2 spheres. So we had these 2 spheres. Okay, the charge on these spheres is same. That charge I am writing here, QA and QB. Both the charges are same and they are 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb. Okay, now a third uncharged sphere C is brought in contact with first A. So what will happen? The charge on A is how much? 6.5 into 10 raised to minus 7. Charge on C is how much? It is 0. So the charge, first of all, the addition of these two charges, that is on A and C, will be how much? That charge, say I write addition of these two charges on A and C, that I show as QA prime. Okay, the charges on both A and C together will become 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 plus 0 charge, that is not to be written. Okay, so total charge on A and C will be this much. Now that is redistributed and half of the charge will be on A and half of the charge will be on C. So half of this, that is 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb charge. Half of this charge will remain on A. Okay, so QA prime, you will get 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 7 and a half of charge, that is, now the charge on C will be 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 7. Okay, so now what will happen? The new situation arises in this way. The new situation is like this. A is having how much charge? 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb charge. B is not brought in contact with anything. Okay, so B is having total charge, that was 6.5 into 10 raised to minus 7. Now C is having the half of the charge of A. How much it is? 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. So initially the charge on C was 0. Try to understand. Initially the charge on C was 0. Then it is brought in contact with A, so half of the charge of A is taken by C. So now C is having 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb charge. Now it is brought in contact with B. So both these charges will be added and then they will be redistributed by dividing 2. Half of the charge will remain on B and half of charge will remain on C. So 6.5 plus 3.25, so it will become 9.75. Okay, 9.75 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb, and half of this will go on B now. Okay, so we can calculate it. Okay, so the charge on B now after redistribution will be QB prime, and that is nothing but 6.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 plus 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 7 divided by 2. So half of this will be 4.875. 4.875 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. So this will be the charge now on B. Okay, now C is taken away. So QA and QB are having different charges than earlier, and QA we have calculated. Now the QA is having different charge, that is denoted by QA prime, and it is 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. Okay, so now the charges on QA, that is now the charges on A and B are QA prime and QB prime. Now you can find the force. F is equal to K QA prime QB prime upon the square of distance. Okay, so now you can write the new force. Say F prime is equal to K QA prime into QB prime upon the distance square. So now just you have to place these values of QA prime, QB prime, K and R are the distance, that is 50 centimeter, has to be converted into meter. So 50 into 10 raised to minus 2 you have to take. So the new force, if you place these values and simplify, then you will get 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 3 Newton. Okay. Now question number 14, the figure is given. Okay, it shows the tracks of 3 charged particles in a uniform electrostatic field. Give the signs of the 3 charges. Which particle has the highest charge to mass ratio? Now try to understand. See, first and second charges must be negative charges. Why? Because this is a positive side of the electric field and this is the negative part of the electric field. So as you know that a positively charged particle is attracted towards negative and negatively charged particles are attracted towards the positively charged plate. Okay, so here particle 1 and 2 are attracted towards positively charged plate. Therefore 1 and 2 will have negative charge. Okay, now see maximum deflection, you can see that of the third. Okay, and you can see as the deflection in the path of the charged particle, that deflection we can say y, that deflection is found to be directly proportional to charge and inversely proportional to mass. So maximum deflection is seen for the third particle. So we can say that the charge to mass ratio of this third particle will be highest. Okay, charge to mass ratio for the third particle must be highest. Okay, now we go further. We have Consider a uniform electric field. E is given, that is I cap, so it must be in x direction. What is the flux of this field through a square of 10 centimeter on a side whose plane is parallel to YZ plane? Okay, so first of all, the thing which is discussed here, say for example, you have this direction as x direction. Okay, this direction is considered to be y and this direction is considered to be z. Okay, now a plane is kept parallel to YZ plane. Now electric field is in this direction and that is in x direction, and the value of this electric field is 3 into 10 raised to 3 I cap Newton per Coulomb. Okay, now we want to find out the flux. Okay, now flux, as you know, flux is equal to E dot delta S, or we can say E dot area. If I show by A, vector A, then it is A or S, whatever. Okay, now see, the side of the square is 10 centimeter, so area will be equal to L square. Now it is 10 centimeter, so 10 into 10 raised to minus 2, because length into breadth, or here length and breadth both are same, so we have to take the square of length. So this becomes 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Okay, now you have to just simplify, or you have to just find out E dot A. Okay, now as you know that flux phi is equal to E dot A, and now you can see that area vector is in this direction. Okay, area vector is always perpendicular to the surface. So this is the direction of area vector and this is the direction of electric field. Both are in same direction, so theta angle between them is 0. So this E dot A can be E into A only, and that will cos 0 becomes 1. So you just have to multiply the values. 3 into 10 raised to 3 multiply by 10 raised to minus 2. So you will get 30 Newton meter square per Coulomb. Okay, the answer is very easy to understand. You just have to multiply these two numbers or two values. Okay, so you will get 30 into 10 raised to only 30 Newton meter square per Coulomb. Okay, now second part is discussed, or second part is given. What is the flux through the same square if the normal to its plane makes 60 degree? Okay, now flux, as you know, flux E dot A, so EA cos theta. Okay, flux is equal to EA cos theta. Now theta is 60 degree, so you just have to take EA cos 60. E is known to us. What is that? 3 into 10 raised to 3. Area we have found, it is 10 raised to minus 2, and cos 60 is 1 by 2. Okay, so you just have to multiply. This becomes 30 divided by this 2, so it becomes 15 Newton meter square. Okay, Newton meter square per Coulomb. Okay, thank you.